Hey everyone, Value Add Mike here today to discuss the capital stack on your next syndication. For those who don't know, my name is Mike Taravella, Value Add Mike, and me and my business partners manage over $100 million in commercial real estate, specifically in the multifamily sector. And today I want to discuss the capital stack. The capital stack is the amount of cash it takes to close on a deal, and it's super important that you understand what the capital stack is and what it comprises of. Looking at that Houston deal, that was very highly levered, and especially in an interest rate period where there's a ton of high interest rate environment, you actually don't want a ton of leverage in your deal. And we generally look for 60 to 70% loan to value, maybe even lower if we get the right terms. But the first thing on the capital stack is your senior debt. So that comprises 60 to 70%, as we said, loan to value. And this is generally going to be your mortgage with your bank. And that's why your banker is your number one investor, because they're bringing the most money to the table and doing a lot of vetting. The biggest concern the bankers are going to have is, can you cash flow? And they look at it very conservatively because they want to make their interest payments on their bank. So that's the first source of the capital stack. And then the second source of the capital stack, this is where you get into your shares of equity. So you can have your Class A shares, your Class B shares. And generally your Class A shares that I've seen for syndications is a higher cash on cash number, but it does not have the upside when it comes to the promote, which is when you sell the property, the equity position there. So generally with your Class A shares, we like to have it a very, very small percentage because we want to make sure that we're not, once again, over levered like we've seen in deals in Houston and other operators, because we want to make sure we're well below that 70% loan to value. And so the Class A shares, generally we've seen it as an equity, but has a lot of cash on cash, but it doesn't have the upside. So when you're thinking of investing in Class A, think of it as investing in a high savings bond account, but you get the equity of investing in equity in a real estate deal. The next share is the Class B shares, which generally is the upside. So you'll get a lower preferred return. Generally in our deals, I've seen 6 to 8% cash on cash preferred return, but then you also get the upside of a sale or refinance. So it's super important you understand which of those classes are and what they comprise of. And the last class on the capital stack is Class C, or it's the last share, which is your general partners. This is the amount of cash and that the operators are bringing to the table. And if you think about it, the capital stack shows how the cash flows. So first you're paying off the senior debt, then you're paying the Class A shares, then you're paying the Class B shares. And then once all of those people are made whole, then you have the Class C, which are your general partners. And so you want to make sure when asking what the capital stack is comprised of, what are the waterfalls for each of those? So which are those cash on cash hurdles that each need to hit and how much they are? And then most importantly, just making sure that you understand that the operators bring skin to the game, because you want to make sure that your GPs are putting their own money in as well. And we like to do that for our deals just to make sure we're in line with our investors and in it for the long haul. Because the last thing I want to do with my investors is say how much of a great deal it is and bring no money to the table, because that in itself is a red flag. So I hope that better explains the capital stack and what to look out for. If this video gave you any value, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, subscribe to our newsletter for deal updates and investor news. And until then, we'll see you next time.